So, in this class we will discuss about Java math class and string class, two of the most important class of Java, math class and string class. It has many methods and properties. We will discuss about some of them. So, let us start with Java math class. Math is a predefined class. It is present in package Java and inside it lang and inside it the name of the class math. This is where we can find the math class of Java. This class provides all the methods for the mathematical operations. For example, finding the mean value, max value, average, sine, cosine, round of a number, ceiling of a number, floor of a number, all these operations, mathematical operations are possible by using the methods that is defined in math class. And this is where we can find math class. So, whenever it means whenever you are going to use the math, any of the method of the math class, then you have to import this package java.lang. Okay. Now, some of the methods we will discuss, and all those math methods are divided into some groups. We can divide it into some groups. Let us start with some basic math methods. Some basic math methods. Let us discuss about each of the method. Then with two examples we will see how to get the output by using these methods. The first one is, as the class name is math, I use the class name math, and the first method is ABS. This method gives the absolute value of the number. This method gives the absolute value of the given number. Whatever number that is provided to this method, it gives the absolute value of that. Okay. Another method is math.max. Math is the class name and method name is max. Here max gives the maximum value among a set of numbers given, the maximum number among the set of numbers given. Similarly, math.mean, we always use the class name because these are the methods defined in this class. So, whenever you are going to refer to them, you should use the class name. Mean is going to give you the smallest value of two numbers. Smallest of two numbers. This is going to give the largest of two numbers. And this will give you the absolute value of the given number. Absolute value of the given number. Similarly, the next function is round. Math, the next method is round. It rounds the decimal number. It rounds the given decimal number. We will see with example each one of them. the given decimal number. It rounds the given decimal number. The next one is SQRT. The next method in math class is SQRT. It gives the square root of the given number. It gives the square root of the given number. Okay. Then next is POW. This method gives the value of the first argument raised to the second argument. That means the value of the first argument raised to value of first argument raised to the second argument. For example, if I want x to the power of y, I want the value like this, x to the power of y, then you may use this method like this, math.POW, the first argument is y, first argument is x and the second argument is y. This will give you x to the power of y, POW, method POW. Then next is CEIL. It gives the ceiling value of the decimal number, math.CEIL. This method gives the smallest integer value that is greater than or equal to the argument, the smallest integer, the ceiling value of the given number. That means the smallest integer value, smallest integer greater than the given number. Smallest integer greater than the given number. Similarly, floor, there is a method floor, math.floor. This gives the largest integer less than the given number. This gives the largest integer less than the given number. Okay. And another most important and mostly used method is random. Mostly used in mathematical operations. Math is a class name and the method is random. It gives a double value with positive sign greater than or equal to 0 or less than 1. It gives a value, it returns a value within 0.0 to 1.0. It always gives a random value, a random double value in the range 0.0 to 1.0. So, this is the method random. So, these are all basic mathematical methods. Then moving into logarithm methods, logarithm math methods. Logarithmic math methods, we have the first method is log. It returns a natural logarithm of a double value. It returns a natural logarithm of a double value. Okay. Log base 2. Okay. Natural logarithm log base 2. Then another method is there that gives log base 10, that is log 10. Log 10. it returns a value, logarithmic value with base 10. It returns a logarithmic value of value with base 10 for the given double value. Okay. Similarly, there is one more function, that is exp, math.exp. It gives e raised to the power of a double value. It gives e raised to the power of double value. In scientific notation, if you want to see a number, then you can use this method, that is going to express the number in the form of e raised to the power of a given number, a given double value. Then moving next, the trigonometric math methods. Then comes trigonometric math methods. Trigonometric math methods. Some of the methods, like to get the value of sine value of a number, cos value and tan value of a number. Okay. It returns the trigonometric sine value of a given number, trigonometric sine value of a given double number or double value, sine value of a given double value. Okay. Similarly, cos gives the trigonometric cos value, cosine value of a given double value. Similarly, the third one, it gives the trigonometric tan value of a given double value. So all these methods takes one argument or takes parameter, that may be integer or double, because all are mathematical methods. They are going to take integer numbers or double numbers, decimal numbers as argument or parameter, and they are going to perform a particular operation. So the first one is giving the trigonometric sine value of a given double value. The second one, cos method, COS, it gives a trigonometric cosine value of a given double value. And the third one, tan, it gives a trigonometric tangent value of a given double value, tangent value of a given double value. Then there are some angular methods. There are some methods for the conversion of angular values like radians and degrees, converting radian to degree and degree to radian, the units for representing the angles. So angular math methods. There are some angular math methods. So mostly used, there are two methods, 2 degree and 2 radian. 2 degree and 2 radian. Two degree is a method that converts a specified radian value. This method converts the given radian value to its equivalent degree, converts the given radian value to its equivalent degree value. Similarly, 2 radian is a method that is used to convert the given degree value to its equivalent radian value. Okay. So, the first method takes the radian value as argument and returns the degree value, and the second method takes the degree value as argument and returns the radian value of it. So, these are mostly used angular math methods. Now, let us see some examples of using all these methods with 2 programs. How you can use these methods while writing a program, and how it takes the argument and what value it returns. Okay. Let us see some of them. So, this is my class Java Math example 1, in which I am going to use all these methods. So, within the main function public static void main, as we know, it takes arguments of string. Okay. Within that, let us declare 2 double type of variable, x equals to 28 and double y equals to 4. Okay. The first method we will use is max. See how it is. System dot out dot print ln maximum of x and y is okay. Plus is the operator to join 2 arguments. Plus is the operator to join 2 arguments. While displaying more than one value. Join 2 arguments. Plus is the operator to join 2 arguments. As you can see, this is the literal, and with that I want the value of maximum value of x and y. So, I call the method max and give the argument x and y. This is the end of method, and this is the end of max, and this is the end of the method println. Okay. Now, this will return the output. The output here will be, for this the output will be what? 28, that is the return value. Okay. Now, going to the next one, suppose we are going to use a square root function. And how to use it? Square root of, suppose we are going to find out the square root of y. So, you can call method like this, math sqrt, the method name, and y is the argument this is what. So it is going to give you the square root of y. Okay. Then the next method we will use is power. We can use this method like this to see how it works. We suppose want x to the power y. Then we call the method POW x y. So this is going to return x to the power of y, means here 28 to the power of 4. Okay. Or this is going to return the square root of 28, or this is going to return x to the power of y, or it is 28 to the power of 4. Then the next method is the logarithmic value. We can use log method to get the logarithmic value of 28 or the value of y. We can call the method like this, log y, and this is going to return you log base 2 y. This will be the output. And next, log 10, if we use log 10, then it may be like this. In place of this, you can write math dot log 10 y. So it is going to give you base 10 the value y. Okay. Similarly, there is one more that gives the exponential value of y. If suppose exponential value of x, then you can write it like this: system.out.println exp of x is, we can use this method exp math.exp, that is x. So this way we can use the methods, some of the methods. Okay. One example we can see. Let's move to another example. See some angular and logarithmic methods, use of some angular and logarithmic methods. This is example 2. This is a class example 2, and okay. Here suppose there is a variable of double type, that is a, and the value is 30. Okay. And there is, so we are going to use the methods to display. Let's suppose there is another one b, there is another one also b. Now if we want to convert, if suppose the 30 is the degree value, we want to convert it into radian. if suppose we assume that A is the degree value, 30 degree converted to radian is math dot to radian 30. Now, if suppose 30 is the radian we want to convert into degree, then we may write the method, we may use the method that is 2 degree system dot out println 30 radian value converted to degree is considering that degree 30 is the value of degree value and we want to convert it, sorry, the radian value, and we want to convert it into degree, then we may use this method like this. Then if you suppose I want to find the sine of value A, sine of value A, then we may use this like this logarithmic method, the trigonometric method, that is sine we can say sine 30 equals to like this. Okay. If suppose similarly we can get cosine and tangent values of 30 cos 30, we can get it like this. And the tangent value also. This is how we can see. You can run these two programs to see the use of these mathematical functions, and in real life we are going to use it in some scientific calculations. Okay. Now coming to next is string methods. These are all the mathematical methods or math methods that is provided in math class of Java. Now next we will move to the string methods. Those are available in Java. String methods. Before going to discuss about string methods, let us discuss what a string is. In Java, how a string is represented and what a string is. A string is a set of character. A set of character is defined as a string, and we use strings in many places like the name of students, the name of employees, the address, your email address, all these things to represent in the string form, and it is a sequence of character. String in Java is a sequence of character, and whenever we create a string, Java creates one object for that to represent the string. Java creates a string object to represent that string. In Java, there are two ways we can create the string. In Java, there are two ways we can create the string. The first one is as a string literal, and the second one is by using new operator. As a string literal, and second one by using the new operator. by using the new operator. Let us first discuss how a string can be created as a string literal, how a string object is created, as a string literal. There is a class string, there is a predefined class in Java that is string. If suppose I write string str equals to welcome, string str equals to welcome. Now string is the name of the class, str is the object that represents the string, and what value it stores, what this object refers to is the literal welcome. So a string is always mentioned within a pair of double quotes, remember, within a pair of double quotes. Look at this double quotes, it is always within a pair of double quotes. Whenever you are going to express a string literal or a string constant, it should be within a pair of double quotes. So string is the str is the object created by using the string class, and it refers to a literal value, that is welcome. Similarly, we can create another string. If suppose I say this is string 1, we can create another string, that is string 2, str2. This also suppose going to store the same value welcome. Now what happened here? String 1 is the first object created, string 1 is the first object created, memory allocated for it. String 1 refers to this memory location, and it stores a value, that is welcome, and whatever value it stores, whatever value Java, whatever string literal JVM stores, that stores in a predefined area, that is called string constant pool, that is called string constant pool. Okay, JVM uses a specified area, JVM uses a specified area, that is called string constant pool, where it stores all the string literals, where it keeps the value of all the string literals. Now in the first case, the string 1 object is created, and the string constant pool now contains the string literal value, that is welcome. String literal value welcome is stored. Now while creating the second string, because the second string object is also going to store the same literal value welcome, it will not create another string. JVM will not create another string object, rather it makes string object 2 also point to the same memory location to which string 1 is pointing to. Okay. Whenever we are creating string literal, this is the characteristics by the difference between creating a string as a string literal and creating a string as a by using the new operator. So while creating a string as a string literal, when the value of the literal to value of two string objects are same, the value of two string objects, string literal objects are same, then JVM is not going to create a separate object. It is going to refer to the same object, because both are pointing to the same literal, to the same constant welcome, which is there in string constant pool. Okay, which is there in string constant pool. Then come the use of new operator. How we can create string by using the new operator? How we can create a string by using the new operator? By using the new operator, we can create string like we create objects by using the new operator. Class name is string, the object name is suppose str, and the operator is new, and then the constructor of string like this. In this case, it creates an object of string type str. Okay, it creates a string type str, and points to no string. It has no value. Its constructor takes no value. That means it creates an object, points to nothing, it stores nothing. Then we may create it another way, that is string str1 and giving the value to the constructor, that is welcome. What it means? Now this string str1, string object str1 refers to a value that is welcome. The difference here is that while creating a string by using new operator, it creates a new string object in heap memory. It creates the new string object in heap memory. Okay. There in case of string literal, it stores the literal value in a string constant pool. Okay. But the here also it stores the constant, it stores the string value in string constant pool, but the reference of object stores in the heap memory. That means there are two objects now. String str is one object and str1 is another object. They are stored in heap memory, and the string literal pool stores the value welcome. So for string it is empty, and for string 2 it is welcome. So for str it is empty, for str1 it is welcome. Now it creates two separate objects. It creates two separate objects. Str is one object, then when you create str1, that creates another object. If suppose the first string also, for the first string also we give the same value welcome. For creating the first object str, if you give the same value, same string literal, if you initialize the string object with the same value welcome, here also it creates two string object str and str1, and both are pointing to their respective literals. Okay. In the first case, while creating string literals, you create any number of objects. If the value of the literal is same, then it is not after the first object, it is not going to create any more object. It is going to refer to the first string object. But in case of in case you are creating the string by using new operator, every time you create one object, it is going to create one instance of the object, string object. Okay. Though they are also referring to the literal in string literal pool, but for every creation, for every use of new operator to create the string, it creates a new object reference. It creates a new object instance. Okay. Then let's see one example of string. How Java strings are used with a small program. Let the class name be string example, and inside it the main method in which we will use the string methods to understand how it operates. String s1, if suppose it stores a value Java. Okay. We also can create strings by using the char data type, because as we know that every string is a sequence of character. So you can use this also, array of character. You can use array of character to represent a string, and in that case, because it is array of characters, so you have to specify each of the character within a pair of single quotes. As I am writing here, string. If the string is going to be store string, then it will be like this. Okay. So, this is also a string, this is also a string representation. This is array of character and this is one object. This is one object S1 of string class type. This is one array of character. The set of sequence of character, here also it is a sequence of character. Now, the difference between this sequence of character and string is that in case of a string terminates with a null character. A string terminates with a null character, but when you make it a sequence of character like array of character, it may not be a string. Though it is a sequence of character, it may not be a string. Why it is not a string? Because it is not going to terminate with a null character. So, every string literal terminates with a null character. So, that is why we may create this ch as a string. We may convert this array of character to a string, and to convert this array of character to a string, we can give this array of character as argument to one object, string object, like S2 equals to new string, and it takes the argument ch. Now, S2 is the string. S2 becomes a string object which stores the string. Okay. S2 is the string object. Now, it stores the strings. Okay. Then we can create another one, string 3, S3, that is in this way, new string example. See, these are the three ways we can create the string. You can create string by this way, that is by string literal, by assigning a string literal to the string object, the first way. The second way is that if you have array of character or a sequence of character, you can give that as argument to the string constructor. You can create a string. The third way, by using the new operator. Okay. Third way, by using the new operator. Now, let us perform some let us see what the output they are going to give. If you print system.out.println S1, then you write system.out.println S2, then system.out.println S3. Okay. Now, what output they are going to give? The output will look like this. The first output is the first string S1, that is Java, coming to the next line, because it is ln, it creates a new line whenever it prints the argument S2. So, what S2 is? S2 is strings. The string is strings which is created, which is initially stored in array of sequence of character. Then it is given as argument to the string class and creating S2. So, it is going to print strings. Okay. And the third string, it is created by using the new operator, that is going to be displayed here, example. So, this will be the output. Three ways we can create the strings. Now, after this we will discuss some of the string class methods. This is about string class, how we can create a string, how we can create one string object, how we can create string objects. Then we will discuss about string class methods. What are the methods available in string class? And string class methods can be called by any object of the string class. So, the first method is char at. The first method is char at. It returns the character value at a particular index. It returns the character value at a given index. Character value at a given index. That means the index value is given as parameter to char at, and it is going to return you the character that is present at the given index value of the string. So, you may use it like this: char ch is a character what this is going to return, and if suppose I say name is one string object, name is one string object, let us create some string object here so that we can understand what string. Suppose we have this string object, suppose str is a string object and it stores a value scstrti, it stores a value scstrti. This is the string we are going to use. Now char ch and str, or we may create it by using the new operator. Create it not as a string literal from string literal pool, you create it like using new operator, new string and scstrti like this. Okay. This is suppose our string, and we will use this string here to understand the examples. Now if I write I use this string object str for this method char at, and if suppose I want the character present at the index 5. Okay. So character present at index 5. So if this is the string, it is represented in this way: scstrti, then this is 0 index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what is present at index 5? What is present at index 5 is t. So this is going to return the value of ch is going to be t. The value of ch is going to be the character at index 5, this one. The next is length. You know about the naming conventions of the methods. Every method starts with small case alphabet, and following any word comes that starts with capital alphabet. Now the next method, string method, is length. It is going to give you the number of characters present in a string, number of characters in a string, number of character in a string. If suppose I want to know this string str, how many characters are present in this string str, then I may use it like this. It returns one integer. I may use it like this: integer n equal to str dot. Every time, because these are the methods of the string class. So you see, whenever I call the methods, I use the object of the string class. So str, and the method is length of, okay, the length. It takes no argument because the object is calling this length. It takes no argument. So it is going to return. The number of character present in this string: 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 7 number of character. It is going to return 7. Okay. The next is substring. Next string method is substring. Substring. The method name is substring. It returns a part of a string. 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 If we are going to use it, then it may be like this. From this string we are going to return some part. We may use it in two ways. We can use it in two ways. For example, if we write to display it system.out.println, if this is a part of any program, this statement is a part of any program, then this is going to give you the result, that is I want to display from str, okay, from the string str, I want to display all the characters. Starting from index 3, I want all the characters till the end. Starting from index 3, I want all the characters till end. So, you can use it like this: str substring. So, from which index I want? I want it from index 3. So, this is going to return you, starting from index 3, it is trti. It is going to return the string output trti. There is another way the substring can be used, that is it may take two argument. It may take two argument, string, substring, and if suppose I want the part of the string starting from index 1 till index 4, starting from index 1 till index 4. It may be used like this. So, there are two forms of this substring method. It may take one argument, it may take two argument. If it take one argument, then from that index it takes that argument, consider that argument as the starting index, and till the end it display the part of the string. If it takes two argument, then the first is the starting index and the last is the second one is the number of character to return. So, starting from the index 1, I want to return number of character 4. So, it is going to return CSTR. It is going to return CS. It is going to return CSTR. This will be the output. Starting from index 1, it is going to return 4 number of characters. Okay. Similar to this, there is a function that is join. There is a string function that is join. Okay. It joins two strings. It joins two strings with given delimiter. It joins two strings with given delimiter or separator. For example, we may use it like this. String date. Date is one object we are creating, and we are going to join. First comes the delimiter, then comes the characters to be joined, separated by the delimiter. The characters to be joined, separated by the delimiter. So, this is going to return, the output of this will be like this. The first string, the first one is the delimiter. So, it starts with this, the first string 25, the delimiter 06, the delimiter, and then 2018. This will be the output of join. Similarly, any delimiter character can be used. Some other strings are like equal. Equals. Another string method is equals. It is going to compare two strings and returns true or false. Okay. It compares two strings. It compares two strings and returns true or false. It's a Boolean value, it returns either true or false. It compares two strings. For example, if I say S1 calls the function equals and takes the argument S2, this returns true if S1 string is equal to S2. Okay. The value present in S1 string, if it is equal to the value present in S2, then it is going to return true, otherwise it return false. Okay. Then similarly, is empty. There is another method, that is empty. Is empty, it is going to return true. Similar to this equals, it is also going to return either true or false, the Boolean value. It returns true if the string is empty. Returns true if string empty. Otherwise it returns false. Okay. Similar to this, there is another concat. There is a method concat, string method concat. it is also going to join two string. This concat is also going to join two string. We can use it like this. S1 is the is one string that is going to concat S2. So it is going to join S1 and S2. The output will be S1 plus S2. It will join S1 and S2. The result will be the join string S2 after S1. The difference between join and concat is that join uses joins the strings separated by a delimiter, but concat doesn't take any delimiter as argument or parameter. It simply joins two strings, one string at the end of another string. Though both are used for the purpose of joining two strings. Then the next some of the strings methods, equal ignore case, equals ignore case. Equals ignore case. This method similar to equals method, but the difference is that when this equals method compares two strings, it is not going to ignore the case of the alphabet. It is not going to distinguish the uppercase, and it is going to distinguish the uppercase character and the lowercase character. That means if a string contains SC, ST, TI, this string is different to this string. This string is different to this string. If you compare using this equals, they are two different strings, and equals method is going to return for them, the equals method will return false. But if you compare these two strings by using this equals ignore case, then it is going to return true. It ignores the case, simply compares the character. It may be in capital letter or small letter. It ignores the case of the character. It just see what the characters are. If the characters are matching, then it returns true. Which one it is? Equals ignore case. Two methods are there, equals and equals ignore case. Then the last three methods, two lowercase, two uppercase, and trim. There are three more methods in string class. There are many methods, but we are discussing some most frequent used methods, and these are two uppercase, two lowercase, and trim. The method is trim. So what this two uppercase is? It is going to convert the string. It is going, suppose I use this for this str. If I use two upper, then I write str dot two upper. It is already in uppercase. Suppose I use two lower. I use two lowercase. The method two lowercase. Okay, str dot two lowercase. Okay, then what it is going to return for this string? For this string, it is going to return SC, ST, RTI. It is going to convert each of the character to its lowercase. Similarly, if I use two uppercase, this is for two lowercase. Similarly, if I use two uppercase, it is going to convert all the characters to uppercase. And trim, this method is used to truncate out the extra spaces or spaces, blank characters, truncate out the blank characters before and after the string. Before and after the string. So string, if any space, if there are some space present before the string like this, if suppose I say string, this string is like this, having some spaces. If suppose the string is like this, having two blank character, three blank characters, and then SC, ST, RTI, and the string is this, and these are the index like this. Then if I use this method trim, then what it does, it removes these three blank or empty characters and return the string as SC, ST, RTI, not after three space character. The leading space or the trailing space of the string are removed by using the method trim. So these are some of the string methods and math class methods we can use in Java. Thank you.